The key is you don't need to throw everything away. You just need to tweak what's not working. Welcome back to Limitless in Midlife. I'm your host, Sally Arkell-Boles, and I am so excited today because I get this question often. Do I really have to reinvent myself or can I just do some realignments? So today we're going to talk about how to find your best path in midlife. I know that you're here today because you already know one thing for sure. You're not interested in just going through the motions. You're here because you really feel that something's shifting inside of you. And maybe you can't quite put your finger on it, but you know you were meant for more. So here's the question. Do you need a total reinvention or do you just need to realign? Because those are two very different things. And today we're breaking down exactly how to tell the difference. So you can stop overthinking and start taking action. How's that sound? Make sure you put in the comments when you're joining us from today so that we have some conversation going. Because as we're going through this, I really want to engage with all of you to make sure that we're having a conversation as well. So please make sure that you're putting any questions that you have, any insights that you have, any ahas, and let's just start having a conversation because as I go forward, I want to pull the information from what you're talking about to be able to have a conversation and bring those elements forward when I'm coming forward in the next edition or two or three or four. So I want to really make sure that I'm covering the things that are most important to you. So let's start with this. When we're talking about that reinvention versus our realignment, you do not need to burn the entire life down to create something new. Now, some people hear the word reinvention and immediately think, oh no, do I have to quit my job, leave my marriage, move to Bali and start an organic farm? Absolutely not. Unless, of course, you choose to or want to. That would be fabulous if that's exactly what you're looking for. But reinvention really means a bold, fresh start. It's a big pivot, like leaving a long time career to start a business, just like I did about 6 years ago now, or ending a relationship that no longer serves you, or completely changing the way you show up in the world. Now, realignment, on the other hand, is about those small but powerful shifts, adjusting to what already exists so it works even better for you. It's like fine tuning your career, your routines, your relationships, or your mindset to bring everything into better alignment with who you truly are now, right? It's all about the now. So, how do you know which one you need? Any guesses? Put them in the comments what you think. How do you really know what you need? Do you need reinvention? Because if you're feeling stuck or uninspired or disconnected from your life, you might need a reinvention, and that's okay. I want to also add in here you're not broken, you're not damaged. It's just looking at our lives and saying, what is there that I want to have differently in my life today? So, the signs that you need a reinvention, get out your notepad because you might like these ones. The first one is you feel like you're playing a role that no longer fits. Who's been there? I absolutely have, and a couple of different things in my life. I had a divorce when I was in my early 30s, and I knew that that role that I was playing at the time just wasn't the fit for me. But I also had a reinvention when I actually decided to leave my multiple six-figure career in finance to venture off into my own business. And I can tell you, there was a lot of things going on in those roles that just weren't satisfying me anymore. And I really knew that this wasn't the fit for me at this time of my life. Or maybe you've lost your passion for what you're doing and no amount of tweaking seems to help. Can you relate with that one? You keep thinking there has to be more than this. I hear this over and over and over. And unfortunately, a lot of people that are coming to work with me are saying, I don't even know what I want. I don't even know what that next step is. I don't even know if there is anything more that I can do in my life to create a different life for myself. Or maybe you feel resentful or drained or emotionally checked out. Can you relate to those ones? That's a really common situation as well. And some things might be in our relationships, our friendships that we've had for years, our family members. As we get older, sometimes those relationships with our family members become a bit more challenging, and other times they become even more powerful. But sometimes you can be resentful, or you can be drained from having those conversations or having to go to those types of functions with your family or a certain group of friends. And maybe you've even emotionally checked out in your relationship. So those are some of the things, and I've got one more. If you can't imagine continuing down the same path for the next 5 years, then maybe, just maybe, you're in for a reinvention. So if any of this sounds familiar, it might be for a bold, fresh start. And I get it. Reinvention can feel overwhelming. But here's the truth. You don't need to have it all figured out to begin. It's really about just taking that first step. And the first step can often be the hardest because sometimes we judge ourselves on where we are currently and think there's got to be something wrong with me because I'm wanting more, or I'm not happy, or there's something that's really bothering me. I really want to reiterate that it's not that you're broken. You're just longing for something more in your life because you're feeling that something's out of alignment, and it's okay. So now, if you need a realignment or you're thinking about you might just need a realignment, if you're feeling frustrated, but you still love parts of what you do, whether in your career, your business, your personal life, your relationships, you may not need to start over. You just might need a realignment. So here's some of the signs of needing a realignment. Tongue twister. You still enjoy what you do, but something just feels off, right? I really was loving my career until something started to feel off with the different people I was working with the way that the corporation was working and changing and shifting, and it just felt off for me. So it wasn't that I didn't love what I was doing, but there was something that was off at the time that just didn't align with my values or my way of working. And so I knew something was off. You may be feeling drained, but you know that small shifts would really help. And sometimes it's a small shift in a relationship. And it might be as much as, I was talking to my sister the other day and I said, oh, my husband and I go out for date nights every week. She says, oh, we should start doing that. Right? They've been together for longer than I've been with my husband, but yet they don't even think to have a date night where you're away from all those things at home. So small shifts could really help. You're also good at what you do, but you don't feel fully expressed, right? What are we holding back? What are we not expressing that we really would love to be able to bring forward? Another element in that would be you're excited about midlife, but you really need clarity on what your next steps are. Because man, oh man, are there a lot of decisions we have to make as we're going through midlife and into retirement. Would you agree with that? So many different things that we want to just get a little bit of clarity on so that we can do it with ease and with joy. So realignment is about that fine tuning. Maybe it's shifting your business model, adjusting your schedule to create more freedom, or simply just changing the way that you think about success, right? The key is you don't need to throw everything away. You just need to tweak what's not working. And sometimes before we go into a reinvention, we just want to start small with one tweak first and see how that feels. Because I can guarantee you, when you've made a shift or a change in one thing with a realignment, that next step is much easier to do because now you've built up that confidence and that trust in yourself that it is going to work out okay and you will be absolutely fine. So, how do you decide what your next move is? Now that you know the difference between a realignment and a reinvention, what's next? So, I want you to ask yourself three simple questions. Okay. Write these down. Write them down. What's draining me right now? What do I dread doing all day? Right? What's taking my energy away from me so that I don't have a fulfilled happiness and joy inside of me? The second one is, what am I craving more of? So, what are you craving? Are you craving more friendships? Are you craving more ease? Are you craving more abundance? Are you craving more love? What are you craving more of? And the third one is, what would feel like relief? That's when you have that big breath of like, finally release that. Oh my gosh, it feels so much better. Your answers will tell you everything that you need to know. And if you need clarity, I've got your back. So don't worry about that. Because for the first 6 episodes, and where this is episode 3, I'm offering a free, no more excuses midlife audit, which will help you to figure out where you are now and what needs to shift so you can take the action with confidence. And I'm only offering it for this free from people that are watching the first 6 episodes. So if you want to get in, make sure you just register now. It's free. It's not a sales call. It's really about doing an audit. I have 10 different elements that I'm going to ask you to sort of look at your life and say, where would I rate myself on a scale of 1 to 10? And on that scale, we're going to be able to then have a little bit of a conversation to say, what's preventing you from being a 10? And if you're already a 10 in all of them, fabulous. Let's just have that discovery, though, to see where you are today. And the link is actually in the show notes, so you can grab it down there. But it really is a powerful opportunity for you to just be able to hop in and do this for free while it's still offered for free, because I will be charging for it after the 6 episodes. So I want to make sure that you have the opportunity as one of the people that's starting out and listening to this podcast to be able to step in and take advantage of that. So here's what I want you to do next. Please subscribe so you don't miss next week's episode, because we're going to be talking about confidence after 40 and how to stop waiting and start living. Because I know a lot of us struggle with confidence in different areas of our life. Some we're just like massively confident in, and other areas we're just like, I'm exhausted. I don't even have the confidence to even address that thing. And so we don't do that. And we want to make sure we're bringing that confidence back. I want you to share this episode with a friend who's navigating midlife changes. If you could, please, I really want to be able to share and get this podcast out to as many people as possible, because I know that the people that are in midlife right now are really going through a lot of these changes, a lot of understanding about where am I and where do I really want to be, but they're afraid to come forward and bring their voice forward. So if you've got a girlfriend or a sister or anybody that you think would be interested in learning more about how to navigate midlife, and how to bring that joy forward, and how to, in this particular case, reinvent or just tweak a little bit, a few of the things in our life at a time, this is what we get to do. So I want you to be able to feel free to share this episode with a friend who's navigating those midlife challenges, because I know that they're going to thank you for it. We all want to be able to have a voice and to be able to be heard, and then also to be able to have the support that we need as we're going through this stage of life. And then again, grab your free midlife audit. It's called No More Excuses, because I've met so many people that are just like putting it on the back burner. It's time to stop. Stop doing that. No more excuses, ladies. No more excuses for not addressing the things that are important to you that will create amazing lifestyle for you and your family and your friends. And it will just open up the doors for you each way you go. Because midlife isn't about starting over. It's about stepping into exactly who you were meant to be. And whether you have a reinvention or just a realignment, one thing's for sure, this is your time. This is your time to look after you, to be putting yourself first above everybody else. So I look forward to seeing you and meeting so many of you as you comment below. I'll be responding to the comments, but I also want to be able to meet so many women that are actually wanting to step in to try out this No More Excuses Midlife Audit, because it's also going to give me a lot of content to be able to come forward with in the future episodes. So make sure you share, like, and please make sure you follow, because that's going to help us to get more people and more women that we can create a community around. Because that's one of the things that I really crave, is to have a community of like-minded women that are wanting to take control of this time in their midlife and really make it the best years of your life. So I'll see you in the next episode, and we will talk to you soon. This is Sally saying, have a fabulous week, ladies. Talk to you soon.